Okay.
Hello again, welcome to another edition of the Real Ale Guide. We're off to Quantock Brewery today, out in the, well, I can't quite see now, but out in the hills of Somerset. We've been on a few big breweries, there you go. We've been on a few very big breweries, Wells and Youngs, Brains, but this is very exciting because it's my first brewery tour, a microbrewery, a very, very small brewery where everybody's hands-on, everybody's getting involved, and if one person doesn't do their job, the whole brew falls. There's no backup. So it's just a very, very small brewery. A range of 6 beers. We're going to be going to a few different pubs to try their cask ales, and then we're going off. We should be able to get some footage of the quiz night as well in the evening. So it's myself, Mr. Real Ale Guide, and if I just pass me the camera, Mrs. Real Ale Guide, all dressed up nice and smart. Yeah, so come back to us. We're probably going to get the Taunton railway station where we're going to meet Rob and Cheryl, Denise Ford, at the Quantock Brewery, and cheers for now. Here we are again on the train. We're just pulling into Taunton station, where we're going to meet Cheryl and Rob Rainey from Quantock Brewery. You might be able to see him on a nice old station there. Okay, so
then.
off we go to meet her. Get my backpack on. Is it this one?
Yeah.
How do you open the doors? Oh, yeah, now.
Oh, you stupid dog.
I'll go this way. Thank you. Okay, so here we are at Taunton station. That's it. Beautiful old station. I think it must be 150 years old. And here, this is Cheryl and Rob from Quantock Brewery. Hi, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Alright, yeah.
Hello, nice to meet you. And you, darling. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
journey?
Yeah, very good journey, very good journey. So, we're going to head up to the brewery now?
Yep.
Tune in for some good footage later. Cheers. So, here's the interview at Quantock Brewery with the head brewer, Rob. I'd like to ask him, could he introduce himself and give us a little history of who you are and what you do?
Right, well, I'm Rob Rainey. I basically, by trade, I'm an engineer. I was self-employed working on nuclear sites for over 30 years. Back in 2008, I got a bit fed up with the engineering industry, so I was looking for something else to do. So I bought a pub, branch pub in Somerset. That's how come I ended up down here. Unfortunately, the pub didn't go too well. It wasn't really supporting itself, so we pulled out of that. And we were looking for something else to do. And so we thought, well, what can we do? We had 2 options. Cheryl was a master baker, so one thought was to start up a bakery. And the other thing that I could do was make beer. As there's a big following for real ale in the southwest, we thought that would be a good idea, so hence we started up the microbrewery.
Great, fantastic.
And hopefully it's going to grow from strength to strength and provide me with a bit of money in my retirement.
With the taste of the beer, I'm sure it will. I'm really sure it will. When did you first become interested in beer, and most importantly, brewing it?
Well, I first started brewing beer probably back in about 1960. I started off brewing from kits, as everybody does, but I was soon disillusioned with that. It just wasn't right. So I decided to go on to full mash brewing. So I brewed beer in my garage for over 20 years. And that's basically where I learned my trade, as it were. You know, it was just purely from experience on an amateur basis.
Yeah, great. That's probably the best way to do it, I imagine. You run Quantock Brewery with Cheryl and Ken. Can you tell us a little bit about how you began your business and what inspired you to produce beer?
Well, as we already said, the pub business didn't go too well, and we decided to pull out of that. And I'd obviously brewed beer before, and Ken had brewed beer before. So we were looking for something else to do, another route to go along. So hence the brewery started.
Right. Adding with the name of the brewery, because I haven't put this on my question list, I'm just going to add one now. Quantock Brewery. Where do you get the name from for the brewery?
Well, basically, we live in the Quantock area, so the name came from there, basically. The original idea was to have a production unit on the broad gauge business park in Bishop's Lydia. But unfortunately at the time, nothing became available, so we ended up with a unit at Wellington, which is about 7 miles from the Quantocks. But that's basically where it came from. Nobody else had used the name, so
Great.
we did.
And from what I gather, it's got a lot of natural beauty in the area, and there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, the Quantock Hills was the first area of outstanding natural beauty in Britain, first designated area. So it is a very nice area.
There's a lot of birds and deer.
Yeah.
It's a great place to brew beer. Okay, you have a brilliant and beautiful range of real ale. Are you planning on adding anything new to your range?
Well, yeah, we're always looking at expanding the range. We've got a core range, effectively about 6 beers. We don't want to have too big a range because it's difficult to keep up with. But we do seasonal beers, and quite a few people have been asking me to do a lower ABV beer, so I'm looking at probably doing a 3.5%. Because a lot of the pubs around here are very rural. People drive to them, and they would go for a lower alcohol beer.
Right, I see. Yeah. So, do you have any names at the moment for the beer, or is that one of your guarded secrets?
Well, it's one of those things we think of as we go along.
I see.
Although we are looking at doing the beer in conjunction with the Quantock Hills, possibly calling it Quantock Ranger.
Right, yeah.
And what we would do is every pint of beer that's sold in the pub, 10 pence, would go towards the running of the Quantock Hills.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Great idea. So you're a very green brewery then, very much into the wildlife of your surroundings.
Yeah.
So, well, when you on about green and the wildlife and animals, when you finish with the grain, what do you normally do with it?
Well, we dig the grain out of the mash tun, bag it out, and a local farmer comes and collects it and feeds it to his cows.
Can't go wrong. That's
so everything is recycled where it can be. Yeah.
Great. Okay. What's brewing at the moment?
We've got Quantock Ale brewing at the moment. That's our 3.8% beer.
Yeah.
It's our what I call our session beer.
Good session beer. You usually want for a good night out playing cards or game of darts or a few games of
perhaps
pool.
A quiz.
Oh, perhaps a quiz. While I'm on the... Actually, no, I will go on to the next question. Real ale and craft beers are making a comeback, a great comeback in the UK and around the world. Why do you think this is, and what factors do you believe are driving the resurgence?
I think basically people have got fed up of drinking bland beers and lagers. People are looking for something different. People want character. And there's so many different real ales now. The variety is enormous. And that's what people are doing now. People are going out now, they're looking for something a bit special, something a bit different.
Yeah.
And they're prepared to pay the price for it as well.
So, yeah. You wouldn't, I always say, if a wine drinker wouldn't stick with one bottle of wine their whole life, and you wouldn't ask them to buy a bottle of Lamborghini all their life, would you? That's my way of saying, with real ale, you pay a little bit more money, but you get a lot more quality with your product. What you're drinking. Now we know you were at the SEBA Beer and Food Festival. Will you be attending any more this year?
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, the ones that we can get to. Obviously, running the brewery is a full-time job, but it's nice to get a couple of days out every now and again. So, yeah, it's very good.
Great. Okay, that about wraps up the interview. This is going to be going out first, so you'll be seeing this first, and then we'll be going on with the brewery tour. You'll be able to see me doing a bit of work at the brewery. So thanks to Rob for the interview. Looking forward to the day here at the brewery, and we're going to carry on watching the videos as they unfold.